What's up, guys? We're continuing with some of the special looks for you guys. This time we have the women's Hypervenom Phantom II. Brand new boot from Nike. We're trying to stay a bit more up to date. I know you guys had mentioned that we're a bit behind. We know that. We're doing our best to stay on top of things. Trying to have the new boots come in as soon as possible so we can keep you guys up to date with all that stuff. So, let's get into it. Keep in mind, these are a women's 6.5. These are a absolutely tiny boot. Absolutely, just look how small that is. But it's gonna have the same features as a normal boot that you're used to seeing size-wise. So, getting into these. Right out of the box, I do like the boot. It is a pretty good-looking boot. I know it's women's specific. Women's colorway, but I think it looks pretty good. You've got the blue Lagoon with a Volt in black and white accents around. If you've been watching any of the Women's World Cup lately, you'll be familiar with the Women's World Cup kit, which fades from that white into the Volt as it goes down, so that Volt actually fades right into the boot. Alex Morgan and Kristen Press both wear these boots, and I'll throw some pictures in so you guys can see how cool they look on feet with the US kit. This is actually the first time that Nike has done a full collection for women's specific boot, as far as going from a full kit to matching colorway for the boot. One interesting note, as I mentioned in the previous videos, Nike's been doing a lot with the Blue Lagoon. This Blue Lagoon on this boot was actually inspired by the famous lakes of Canada, which is obviously where the Women's World Cup is taking place currently. So it's cool that they've integrated some kind of backstory to the colorway, not just throwing a colorway together. So guys, getting into some of the technology with the Hypervenom 2, obviously first major difference is this dynamic fit collar. So with this one, unlike with the Superfly 4s, the Hypervenom 2 doesn't have a Flyknit upper with that Nike coating. The Flyknit actually only comes, you can see the tongue, and then as it comes up and wraps around the ankle. But it actually, it stops right about here, all the way around, where this kind of connects, if you can see right there, see how it connects in there. You do still have that Nike coating, but it's no longer over that honeycomb type mesh underneath. These are actually designed to be flex grooves for when your boot flexes to flex along those, and also give you a little bit more texture, I think, as well. We'll be doing a full Hypervenom 2 comparison to the Hypervenom Phantom, going over all the new details between those two boots, but we just want to give you a quick overview with these. Taking a look at the outsole, besides that wild color blocking with the Volt in black, you do actually have the same outsole pattern that you had on the Hypervenom Phantom. Just to pull one of those in real quick, you can see side by side. You still have the same split toe, although it is tough to see on the Hypervenom 2. You have the same split toe, same conical studs throughout. So you will get the same stud pattern, same general fit with the Hypervenom 2, and we'll talk a little bit more about fit and on-feet feel soon. We'll bring in Joelle, who's actually another member of the shop here, who can give you a better idea of how these fit from a women's perspective. Taking a look at the laces, you do notice that you have the asymmetrical lacing again, as you did with the Hypervenom Phantom, allowing for a larger surface area on the instep of the foot for striking the ball. However, if we look closely, it does seem that they've revised the spacing of the lacing a little bit. If you can see with the Hypervenom Phantom, it got really, really close through there, and I felt when I wore these that the lacing, it got really tight and I couldn't get the right fit that I wanted. Hopefully we'll see if they revise that with these when Joelle tries these on. Another thing that I would like to note, as I've mentioned in my Superfly videos, I'm not a huge fan of that back stripe of material that goes up the back of the dynamic fit collar. It seems that Nike may have heard some complaints and listened to that, because with the Hypervenom 2, they've actually moved that seam. So you still do have that seam. Obviously, you can't completely eliminate it. But now it goes up the side of the foot here, up the back, rather than directly up the back of your heel, where it's going to be rubbing on your Achilles and right in the back of your heel. So hopefully Joelle can speak about that a little bit as far as that fit. because that definitely was a good revision that I felt they needed to make with the dynamic fit collar. So with that, guys, let's head down to Joelle, and she'll give you a look on feet.
So I just want to go over the sizing of this boot for a minute here. Obviously it's in women's sizes, so that starts at a 5.5 and it goes to a 12. I normally, in Nike sneakers, I'm a 6.5 or a 7. It kind of just depends. In my running sneakers, I'm a 7. Those are the Lunar Flyknits. I have some other sneakers that are 6.5, some free runs. So kind of in between sizes on that. I decided to order a 6.5 in these. Usually with cleats, you kind of want a tighter, snug fit right away. Usually in the shop, we say not to have more than 1/4 of an inch or 1/2 thumb at the tip of your toe. So when I tried these on, there wasn't too much space at the top. They almost felt like I didn't have enough space in the toe, and I don't know if this synthetic material here is going to be stretching that much. So I think I almost could have gotten away with having a size 7 in these and been pretty comfortable. As far as the fit goes, they were actually a little bit more comfortable than I thought they would be. This middle section here definitely is a snug fit with these Flywire cables. The toe box I thought was kind of wide at first, like they normally are with Hypervenoms, but it really, having that kind of Flywire thing here, everything kind of came together when you tied up the boots. The one thing that I really liked about these was the dynamic fit collar. The asymmetrical seam in the back really is a lot more comfortable than having the seam down the middle of the back like the Magistas do. Also, this dynamic Flyknit collar is a little bit more comfortable than the Magista one. It also feels a little bit thinner. I think it's a little bit stretchier. It really kind of felt like a sock more than the Magista one. The padding in the back here around the heel, the top of the heel, is also different than the padding that's in the Magista. So it is a lot more comfortable around the heel, but you also have a decent amount of support at the bottom of the heel here. All in all, I don't know if I really love the synthetic kind of material that's used on here. It does feel pretty durable, but at the same time it doesn't give too much, so I'm not sure how comfortable they'll continue to be throughout play. Obviously they will break in, but I think right off the bat the Magistas for me are a little bit more comfortable. I kind of like having that sock-like lockdown feel, where it's kind of that one-piece upper with the Magista. So one more thing about these, the fitting with these, men can wear these. These aren't necessarily a women's cut boot. It's the same cut that the men's Hypervenom 2 has. These are just made in women's sizes. So for the men out there, if you would like this colorway more than one of the other Hypervenom Phantoms that's out right now, you can order these. They go from sizes 5.5 to 12, and those are women's sizes. So the size difference with Nike is a size and a half. So if you are a 9 in men's, you're gonna have to get a 10.5 in the women's. And that's true for all of them. So men out there, you can get these.
So guys, just a quick thank you to Joelle for doing the on-feet portion of this video, telling you guys a little bit more about the fit and the feel of this boot. Hopefully you guys appreciated that. These boots do come in at the $270 price point, right up there with the Superfly 4s, the Magista Obras. So what you can expect for the Nike boots with the dynamic fit collar. If you guys have any more questions about this boot or the Hypervenom 2 in general, toss them down in the comments. We'll get back to you soon. Hopefully we can answer your questions for you. Like I said, we will have a full Hypervenom 2 comparison to the Hypervenom Phantom coming soon, so be on the lookout for that. As of right now, we do not carry the Hypervenom 2 online in our shop, But feel free to check out the other boots we have to offer at eastcoastsoccershop.com. We'll have some more detailed shots of this boot up on our Instagram at EC Soccer Shop. And as always, guys, like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you in the next video.